If you're a loan officer listening to this and you know that you need a little uplift or maybe a lot of uplift with your marketing, and you know that there's digital marketing out there available, you just don't know what to do yet or why it's important, then this episode is for you. So before I dive into the current day marketing, I want to take you back to me just a few short years ago when I was 18 years old and I was learning the loan business. So I started with processing and I was telemarketing in high school. So I understood lead generating and marketing like that and making one-to-one calls and all that stuff. Overcame my fear of rejection, didn't really care about that. And I just wanted to make money as a 16, 17-year-old instead of working at McDonald's for minimum wage, which was like $5.25 back then. I was actually making like $14 an hour plus bonus. It was hugely different. So I went and telemarketed, but that's the marketing part. We're going to get back to that in a minute. Now, when I started processing, I learned how to set up a loan file, how to do submissions, how to submit conditions. And really, like, other than, of course, there was stated income, which we kind of have that back now, DSCR loans, but there's always products and guidelines that are shifting, changing, but it seems to move a lot more slowly, except for in 2008, right? When the NAGAM loans got completely ripped from us. And that was just a crazy, crazy time. But overall, generally speaking, the loan file itself was credit, income, assets, appraisal, prelim. I remember we had all these like little tabs and we'd have to fill in everything. And then we would put on the left-hand side, we'd put miscellaneous docs that we didn't want the underwriter to see. And we put like a conversation log. So now all of this stuff is automated, but back then it was necessary and now it's necessary. Back then we would fax a credit report. We would wait for a response, but we still needed a credit report. Back then, we would use a conversation log, and now we do it digitally. We do it online, or we do it in our CRM and make comments and reminders and all these kinds of things. We would have Post-it notes. We would have tabs reminding us to do things manually, but you still needed reminders and triggers and all these things. Working your pipeline backwards to forwards. We would have cabinets and we'd go to the closings, those closest to closings, and we'd go work on our closings. And then we put those files back right in the con log, and then we'd go to fundings. Back then, it wasn't clear to close. That was like doing doc draw back then. And then it was working on approval conditions. I would take the conditions. I still do this with my to-do list. It's like burned in my brain. So this is just the way I operate because of my processing days. I would take the conditions. I would print out the approval sheet. I would highlight it in yellow highlighter. I'd make a little red circle next to it. And I'd write the date that it was ordered, like if it was some kind of like credit supplement or whatever, or if the appraisal was ordered, I'd mark it. When it was done, I would put done or sent, and I had this whole like system. So the point of me telling you this is that we still need these kinds of systems. We still need to check mark what was ordered, what was received, what was sent to the underwriter. Not much has changed in the basis of like how to get a loan closed, right? Stated income then, DSCR loan, credit income assets appraisal. The underwriter can't see certain things, making a copy so the underwriter can manually underwrite it. Yeah, it was paper file back then, but now we submit it to underwriters and it's electronically. So we have a copy of everything they have a copy of. So if you really think about it, you don't even get an at-bat to show your magic of decades. If you're newer in the business, then this still can apply to you, but all your experience and what a baddie you are, as my teenager would say, at doing loans, whether you've been in the business a long time like myself or even newer, you still know a lot more than the average future home loan applicant, average future client. So you know how to take a loan application and the basic stuff that an underwriter is going to need, a processor doing a cover letter, getting gift funds from relative, making sure they fill out the gift letter. Again, not much has changed in the actual loan process. So let's talk about what has actually changed. It's literally one word, and it's marketing. Marketing is the backbone to any successful business. The lending industry is no different. And I don't know what happened to us, but some of us loan officers have become dinosaurs. We're still like telemarketing like I used to, which is basically cold calling realtors. So not much has changed from the 1990s to 2025 unless you start really marketing digitally and you start taking on a mindset of one too many marketing. So the lending industry, I don't know, like we must have this kind of fear of change. I'm studying it. I'm talking to loan officers, and we are really marketing still like we're in the 1980s, 1990s, and we're not marketing one to many. We're not digitally marketing. I want you to think about a local restaurant that just opened up business or that's been around forever, and think about what would happen if they didn't market. Think about Apple, like iPhones. If they just sat on the shelf on these little boxes next to the, cereal boxes at Walmart, and you had no idea what this smartphone can do for your communication, for your business, for your life, for your entertainment, and marketing was not implemented. We would not know. You've got to market. So no difference between a restaurant, iPhones, or you as a loan originator. You've got to know how to market. And here's the good news is that iPhones are a game changer, a life changer, a business changer. Great product, great service they provide for us. Guess what? So do you as a mortgage loan originator. You have one of the best products or services in the world, which is a roof over somebody's head, money for the roof over somebody's head. So you don't have to go find somebody that wants a certain type of, like a dog grooming service, like my cute little puppy that's over here. You can't see her sleeping, but she needs to get groomed every 6 weeks. And I'm willing to pay. I'm willing to have somebody show up at my house and have a mobile groomer. But that person needed to market so I could actually find them. And they only do the dog grooming. They only do that. You have people out there that either rent and they want to own. They own and they have debt that they have to consolidate. They have home improvements they need. They want to build a swimming pool. They need solar on their property. They got to consolidate their first and second. They want to buy a vacation home, a rental property, buy, sell, whatever's going on there, upgrade, downsize. Pretty much everybody wants your products or services. Or they don't know if they need it or why they need it until you tell them. Not everybody has a white little fluffy dog that doesn't shed and that needs to get groomed every 6 weeks. So are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Marketing is the backbone to any successful business. So I want you to appreciate that you're in the loan business. I know it's been tough over the last few years, but think about what a boss you are at the loan part of it. And now let's get you to be a boss when it comes to marketing. Okay, so now that we got all that clarified, here's the difference between the old school marketing and the new school marketing, because we've already established that you always have to be prospecting, that you have to make calls, you have to write things down in the conversation log. Now you just type it in. So things have changed, but it's been a slow change when it comes to the loan process. Now, the difference between marketing back then and marketing now is the difference between one-to-one versus one-to-many marketing. We have a world of social media and technology and AI and automations that are an absolute game changer to where time does not equal money anymore. So you do not work more hours and therefore you get more money. You can work less hours, imagine that, and close more loans, generate more leads, nurture people in your sleep. If you don't know how to digital market and you're a loan officer, what if I told you you could be out of business in the next 12 months or sooner? I heard a phrase, I love it. Brian Hale and I were talking about this. AI is not going to take your position as a loan officer yet, right? We got years, I think, before loan officers are not even allowed to do loans, and AI originates and does everything like that. So I don't think your position is going to get taken as a loan originator by AI where nobody needs you. But the loan officer that's implementing AI and digital marketing and harnessing technology and loving it, working smarter, not harder, could take your job. I don't want that for you. I want you to learn how to digital market like a boss. So there's so many different ways that you can market one to many. So let's talk about video. So video, you can do a 30-second video, 60-second, 90-second video, and 200,000 people, 10,000 people can see that message of 30 seconds of your time, posting it, uploading it, connecting it to your teleprompter, blasting it out on all of your different platforms from one 30-second talking heads video or a B-roll or something like that. So let's just use talking heads for an example. And by the way, a talking heads video is just you actually saying a script or you speaking for 30 to 90 seconds. So that one video can reach thousands of people, millions of people if you put Facebook ad spend behind it like I do. So video was not possible back then. There was no video texting. There was no Facebook ads or organic posts, Instagram, Facebook. The bones of like getting a loan closed was kind of the same, just like it is now, right? But the marketing piece was completely different. You had to market one-to-one, or if you were so lucky, you can maybe get on stage and you can get in front of thousands or hundreds of people. But I mean, how many loan officers back then did I know that were getting up on stage in person, traveling, sharing that information? I mean, probably not a lot of people. And when you're traveling around on stage, you're not really finding the people that are ready to buy in your community. So that would make you more of like a coach. And there wasn't a lot of them out there back then. So video, one-to-many marketing. Now, second, email. There is a whole way to list build using ManyChat, go high level, CRM, lead magnets, giving away things for free, email list building, turning followers into your email list. That is magical. If you can take somebody who has a conversation with you, like I used to telemarketing, and now I can collect an email and I can put that into my CRM and I could fire off automatic messages to them to love on them and nurture them and stay in front of them while I'm working on something else or while I'm on vacation with my family. That is the beauty of one-to-many marketing when it comes to email. Now, one-to-many could be in person also. You can do networking events. You can do first-time homebuyer seminars. You can do marketing seminars, all of that in getting people in a room together of 20, 30, 50 people. But speaking to that, how hard is it to get people to show up to your live event, like in person? I guarantee you're going to have way more eyes on your products and services as an LO when you do a Facebook Live, Instagram Live, when you create a Zoom event and you promote it and you run Facebook ads, do a landing page, MasterClasses, doing it online, more than 20 people are going to show up. I could hop on a live right now and just people scrolling online on social media will probably tap on it and I'll have 100 people on very easily. And I don't have a ton of followers. I pay for speed. I pay for attention. So I run Facebook ads. I don't really work on growing my following organically. And I could still have a ton of people on my Facebook Live. So me doing that versus trying to get 100 people in a room is going to be a lot harder and a lot more expensive and a lot more painful. I did one of my 3-day events, Invincible Lender, and I did it as a 2-day event. And I was thinking, you know what? I'll do a live event, an in-person, and then I'll do a virtual live event and I'll rotate. One time I'll do it in person, one time I'll do it virtually. Throwing an event together in person is a lot. I mean, you need name tags for people. You need workbooks printed. You need, to offer lunch and sandwiches, drinks after. There was a lot that went into it and just the energy's different. And I could only fit 25 people in my training room. I'll be damned if I have 25 people at my online 3-day event. We have hundreds of people popping in and out of the event. We're expecting this event I'm doing now. We're expecting 1,600 registrants and I think maybe about 500 people to the free masterclass. And then I'll probably have about 200 people in my 3-day event. So we're going to be marketing one-to-many on even a bigger scale. And it doesn't matter because I don't have to have 300, 200 desks. So I really encourage you to think about one-to-many marketing. In every road you choose to market yourself for that day, it better be talking to more than just one person or 2 people at a time. And I kind of hate to say it, but I kind of have like a bone to pick with the industry because had I known this stuff, back in 2017 and 18 in the mortgage industry without me having to not know the stuff, go out and pay for it outside of the industry and spend all the tons of time and hours wasting time trying to pull it all together and what this means for me as a producing loan originator, it would have saved me so much more time, less frustration, so much energy. But I did not know these things. So had I known it back then, man, everything would have been different. But there was no mentors that were teaching me this. Everything was one-to-one. Nobody had confidence on like hook value, call to action, how that content creation is way better. I did have a coach that encouraged us to do videos, but there was not a lot of ways to get that video out there. So CRMs weren't really a thing back then. I mean, kinda, but not a lot of loan officers implemented them. It was just a different mindset. And it was so frustrating to me because again, the bone I had to pick with the mortgage industry back then was that like, why is nobody teaching these things that I had to go pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to date to go learn it and wrap it in a pretty bow for my peeps, for my loan officer peeps. So that was my issue then. Now, all these years later, the bone I have to pick with the industry is that we're still not implementing a CRM and ManyChat. We're not talking about lead magnets and ChatGPT and video and one-to-many marketing. Why is someone like Alex Hormozi teaching me something that I can go bring it to my students and help them become top producers? But I had to go to Alex Hormozi to learn it. Where's the mentors and coaches that are teaching it in the mortgage industry? We're teaching our industry to become dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are extinct. So I don't want you to become extinct. I want you to be innovative. I want you to learn how to market. And if you feel like you're telling yourself right now, but Tiff, like I'm terrified of video, or I don't know what CRM to pick, or I don't know what to say on video. This stuff only seems hard because it's new to you. But again, it's only hard at first until it becomes easy. Hard for the rest of your career is cold calling, coffees, one-on-ones, doing in-person seminars, all that old school approach versus learning technology and how it's a blessing. It's not a curse. This is something that will help you. For example, let's say you wanted to market one-to-many and you wanted to work as little as possible in your month and you wanted to produce a bunch of leads. So here's something you can do. You record one Facebook ad, okay? Just one video, and you test it out organically first to make sure that it hits, that you get a lot of plays on it, so that way you don't waste your money testing out Facebook ads. You do your organic video, you do a Facebook ad, you have a call to action to go to a landing page, they opt in, they show up to your masterclass because you went and go high level in your CRM and you're sending them SMS text reminders and email reminders. They show up. Meanwhile, all you did so far is you hired a virtual assistant for $4 an hour to create you the landing page and set up the go high level systems, or you do it yourself if you're good at technology or pretty good enough, right? If you're willing to learn it yourself. So all you did was you spent, let's say, 2 minutes recording a Facebook video that you tested out organically. And that testing is going on while you're sleeping, while you're on vacation. So really, it's just that one video that you had to sit down and record. And now as that Facebook ad is running, your landing page is being visited, your email list is building, your masterclass is being filled up while you're doing other things. So the biggest bulk of the work is recording the video and then actually teaching once people show up to the masterclass. Now you're teaching for an hour. You have a call to action for people to book a call for a free 30-minute pre-purchase strategy session or whatever it is that you're teaching. Now people show up on your calendar link, and now your time and energy is spent converting those people to loan applications, and then they're in your pipeline. So imagine if you have that one Facebook ad and you spend $5 a day and it filled up your masterclass over a month and you had 25 people show up or you had 50 people show up. Imagine what happens when you take that same video you already created and now you're spending $20 a day, $100 a day, $200 a day. There's months where I spend $20,000, $30,000 on ads, but it brings in hundreds of thousands of dollars. So now I have a scalable and automated business. So that's super important for you to hear, because I'm not teaching anymore. I'm not creating more videos. I'm just putting more money behind the ads. So now more people show up to the same event. So I'm teaching 500 people instead of 25 people, but I tested it out organically first. Then I tested it out on a smaller budget. I practiced my slides, and now I'm marketing one-to-many, bigger and bigger and bigger every event that I do. This is what you do as a loan officer. This is just one way that you can market yourself one-to-many. Now, if that sounds like, oh my God, sounds too difficult, then all right, let's take it back a notch. You do some organic posts. You have them show up to your calendar link. So your videos are rolling while you're sleeping or while you're on vacation, and your calendar link, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 2 to 4 p.m., all these 30-minute slots are getting filled up, and you don't ever have to cold call, chase, do open houses, whatever, right? So you're using social media, you're using video, you're using landing pages, Facebook ads, email marketing. If you ain't up on this, your competition will be. So in summary, the main thing after all my decades of being in this business, it's just so crazy to even say that because I feel like I'm 21 still, but I don't look 21, but I just don't know where the time went. But out of all my decades, the number one thing that has changed the most was not what's required in the loan file or how processors make mistakes or how underwriters shut down conditions or add conditions. That stuff is going to be around forever. That's why I don't coach and teach students how to do a loan like Mortgage 101. You don't need to do that. Get the leads, learn how to market one-to-many. Trust me, somebody in your branch is going to go, whoa, what's Susie doing? What's Joe doing that's bringing in all these leads? Now we got to teach them how to do loans. Somebody's going to figure it out, and your processor and your underwriter are there to have your back and help you package a good file. Your processors, your LOAs, and the underwriter is going to make sure that these people actually qualify, and they're going to prompt you when you have to go chase the paperwork. This stuff has been going on since the beginning of time when I was in the business, when I was 18 years old. So the number one thing that you need to focus on is digital marketing one-to-many. Again, video, email marketing, events, landing pages, Facebook ads, organic stuff, posting on multiple platforms, teleprompters. This is all of what I teach you, and it does not exist in the mortgage industry. I do not know of one single coach that teaches the marketing at the level that I do, the time management and the mindset that's needed in order to implement the strategy. So book a call with my team, go find me, comment, share this with your loan officer friend, get into my world because you will be like family. We treat our students like family, and I do not let our families fail. So no matter what, we will hook you up. I hope this was helpful. If you don't know marketing, book a call. We're going to help you with your marketing. So hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.